Thank you for joining us for SPED Homeschool's very first Giving Tuesday campaign. We are so very excited about all the things that we have to share with you. But the most important things we have to share with you are our family stories, the stories of the families that we support and that we encourage and help, and that we're developing more resources to help homeschool in the future. So enjoy their story and all that they have to share with you about what it's like to homeschool a child with special educational needs.
I think that we started homeschooling because we recognized that our oldest was not learning well in typical educational environments. And so he would attend school all day, but he wouldn't be able to come home and tell us what he actually learned. And so that was one of the first things that helped us realize that we probably needed a different educational environment for him. We definitely had some struggle. I wasn't probably as well suited for homeschooling as some people maybe are. I didn't know how to structure a day, for a full 24-hour day for a child at first. I was used to having breaks and things in there, and so that was challenging. And then just understanding how much learning, of that time had to be scheduled learning was a challenge for me. And so I was really blessed to have more experienced homeschooling moms come alongside of me. Our prognoses were pretty bleak, starting out. And so that's really discouraging. And it makes the idea of homeschooling them seem overwhelming, I think, at first, when you hear, well, your child may never do this, they may never do that. And then you think, well, how on earth can I possibly be the person that can lead them out of that? And then you recognize that when you've tried these other avenues, that's exactly who you are. and that's why God gave them to you. And it's not because you're an expert at all of it, but it's because you love them enough to figure it out with them. And that's been really neat to watch them knock down obstacle after obstacle after obstacle that we were not really encouraged to believe that they ever would. What pushed me over the edge into homeschooling from traditional schooling is because I knew that they required those therapies. And it wasn't like one therapy appointment a week, it was multiple ones. And there was simply no way for us to have a relaxed family life or be involved in anything besides schooling and therapy with the schedule that would be required from them at school.
I mean, the school's purpose was to have your kids meet a minimum standard, right? They weren't concerned about the overall well-being of your children and how they were going to be successful down the road. They needed, so they set the therapies and the things to meet a minimum standard. And we were hoping for more than that for our kids. So we wanted to help them to be the best they could be.
I was terrified of homeschooling, but the more I looked into it, the more I kept seeing that this was probably the best thing for him and to help us get started. So we decided to jump in for kindergarten because I figured I couldn't mess that up too badly. And and then ever since then, we've enjoyed it and stuck with it. So.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a change. Neither of us had ever planned on homeschooling. I didn't know anybody that had homeschooled, so it was a bit of a surprise to me that we were headed down that path. But I agree with Diane. I think it was clear in the preschool time that we had Jonathan in through the school district. They weren't able to meet his needs as well as we could. And so I think knowing your child gives you the opportunity to really meet their needs in a way that the school they can't know them that well in that way. So I think it's important for us to be able to do that and provide that for him.
It's been helping me because, I used to struggle in school a little bit more, and so Mom used to be able to help me more with school and stuff, and so, we would, what I'd do is I would do stuff like a little bit slower pace, and kind of do it at home, with my mom helping me and stuff. And then as I kept on working, school got easier.
You can work where it's comfortable. In school, you have to sit at a desk and set it down, and you have to pack before the school day, so you have to pack over the night. Homeschooling, you can just set your books in the shelf, get your books out, and start working.
Recognizing over the first couple of years, there's still a role for Dad. Even if I'm not doing the schooling, there's support, there's prayer, there's all of the things, bouncing ideas and something to check in, someone to check in with, and helping make decisions around what they're going to study and learn. And is this working well? So mean, there was a lot of things that I needed to do to support her that I didn't recognize going into it. So I think some of the conferences we did were really helpful. Hearing some of the more experienced dads who were doing way better than me to hear how they did and what they did, I think was really helpful.
The only other thing I would say is just to encourage maybe other moms that have, you know, the younger years are so hard. At least for me, they were the hardest years. And you know, my homeschool looked like my kids often hanging from banisters and, you know, doing math facts while they're bouncing on the trampoline, or, you know, doing anything that it does not look like school necessarily, but it was. And that's how they learned, and we made it through. And, you know, I wish that at that point that I had moms that were a little further down the road of homeschooling special needs kids be able to tell me that you're doing exactly the best thing for them. It's okay. It's okay that they're not sitting neatly at the table with a pencil, and that this is what works. And I think that would have really encouraged me. So
yeah, your experience doesn't have to look like everybody else's experience, right. and your kids can still learn and still grow.
Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sharing our campaign. And thank you for also considering a donation to our organization. We are a 501c3, and so your donation is tax deductible. You can donate on our Facebook page or on our fundraiser campaign, which both of them you can find related to this video. Just thank you again for your time, and God bless.